Tech War will continue right after this.
The best of Def Comedy Jam is the hottest, rawest,
where's the booty?
raunchiest,
He's so horny.
comedy video of all time.
My name's Bud. I drive a truck and I love it.
Over 1 million videos have already been sold, and now is your chance to rock the house.
Jim, y'all ready to get this thing rocking?
Make a love to me like a heavyweight championship fight. Oh, it's scheduled for 12 rounds. But it's gonna end early.
Call this toll-free number now to own the first volume of the Best of Def Comedy Jam, now on VHS and DVD.
Hey, watch this part. This is the good part right here, y'all.
And use your credit card in the next 10 minutes, and we'll throw in 2 Raw for TV. Def comedy performances so outrageous they can't be seen on cable.
I feel good.
You get 2 great videos or 1 jam-packed DVD for only $9.99.
I wasn't ready. But the show must go on.
Then every month, preview another Best of Def Comedy Jam, highlighting killer performances by today's comedy legends.
One time a man thinking, rob my mama. Put your damn hands up. Put them up.
Keep only the ones you want. Cancel anytime.
Over in Africa, they got drive-bys here.
Remember, call in the next 10 minutes with your credit card and get 2 outrageous videos or 1 double-length DVD for only $9.99.
Woo! I got to have it.
Time is running out, so if you missed out, don't miss out again.
Good night, y'all.
Call now.
Call 1-800-972-2929 to order Def Comedy Jam on VHS or DVD for only $9.99. Use your credit card to get 2 Raw for TV free, or send $9.99 plus $3.99 shipping and handling to Def Comedy Jam, Department 8, Richmond, Virginia, 23280. Call now.
And now back to Tech War.
Thank you. I'll always have that in my heart. Another man that's always been there when we needed him. From years back, years and years back, since John had his first bypass surgery, 1986, he could have died then. He put it off, and he could have died. It was an emergency. Before we went to the hospital that morning for Kath, I heard him in the den praying, and he had the globe, and he was saying, "Oh God, let me reach the world. Don't let me die. Let me reach the world." 1986. I heard him in there praying. And he had talked to the children because he felt death on him then. He said, "If anything happens to me, then I want you to take care of Mother." And this was 13 years ago, so God gave him some more time. But Jesse Gallardo was always there for us. Jesse, will you stand up? Jesse sells pacemakers, and he was always there with his daddy. He called him Daddy. Jesse didn't ever really meet his daddy. He called him Daddy. He's been here with us for how many years? 25? Something like that. And anytime John had any kind of procedure, he had a pacemaker, he had 2 or 3 or 4 cats, Jesse was always there. One morning, John was really, really sick. His heart was fibrillating back in I think it was 86 when he had that. And it was 4:30 in the morning, Saturday, and I was distraught. I was up there by myself, and I thought, God, if somebody would just come and be with me, it would help me so much. And I heard the elevator go, ding, 4:30 in the morning. And Jesse Gallardo stepped off of the elevator and came to be with me. That's true, friend. That's true love. Thank you, Jesse. And then Timothy Sullivan. Where are you, Timothy? Come here, Tim. Jesse, you come here and let me get a hug, too. Timothy's always been there for us. He'd do anything in the world his daddy wanted him to do. His dad's gone, too, but a lot of them call him Daddy. He helped us so much. He just has always been there for John. And I'm telling you, I could never repay them. And just the other day, he brought Oral and Evelyn Roberts came into the city, and Tim went and picked him up and brought him to our home to pray for John. And people like this you'll never forget. Thank you, Tim. I know there are thousands of people I could recognize. I just have to get a few, but it's all in my heart, the things you've done through the years. Is there anybody here from Gulf Coast Dialysis Center? Martha. Oh, Martha. Martha Whitworth. who's head of the Gulf Coast Dialysis Center. They were so good to John. And they had everybody scheduled, but they would let John come in anytime he wanted to come in. Take him anytime. All he had to do was say, get the machine ready. I'm coming in 15 minutes. And they were so wonderful. Martha will never forget that. Thank you. He's better off with Jesus, don't you think? Yes, she saw him. She saw him. Thank you, Martha. And please express my appreciation to everybody there. Anybody here from St. Luke's? Any of the nurses or doctors or anybody? I know they're all busy. They couldn't come. Who's here? Rosa. Ali, are you here? Nurse, there they are. Nurse in CCU, the wonderful people. Thank you. Thank the nurses. They were wonderful. The cardiologist, the renal team, the nurses, everybody. They were wonderful to us. And I thank them. I thank anybody that had a part in him. And there was a little Indian doctor there, nephrologist, and John prayed for him, and he was so appreciative. John witnessed to everybody. We prayed for the nurses as we left. That's the way he was. My children from Little Rock and from Victoria, and I don't know whether any of the other ones, friends are here or not, but they have friends that have come in from Little Rock and Victoria, some of the staff and all from Victoria. Would you please stand? And I want to thank you for coming. It's such a great thing. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How much that means to us that you would come all this way. Thank you, my father. He was a loved man. He loved me. Oh, he loved me. He thought I could do no wrong, but boy, was he ever wrong. He was always watching out for me and don't do this, don't do that. I used to say, John, look, I'm 55 years old. Let me think myself. He was so protective. He was protective of our children. They may have not liked that too much, but when the girls would go off on an airplane, he'd say, call me the minute you get there. And whenever the plane was to arrive, the phone would ring, and they'd say, Daddy, we're here. Or when he knew they were coming into Houston, he would, at the time they were coming in, he'd call them on the cell phone, and it got to be a big joke. That's Daddy, when the phone rang in the car. But that's a daddy that loved his daughters. That's a daddy that loved his sons. He was not controlling. He would give them advice. They used to come to him for advice, not me. I mean, they didn't much appreciate my advice, but if they really had something that they needed prayer about, they'd go to their father. And I'm glad, because he was a wise man. But we have been blessed with the most wonderful children in the world. I could not have asked for better children. And we talked about it often, about how wonderful they were, how respectful they were. They loved us so much. They have taken care of us. They have helped bring food to my house. They have helped me take him to the emergency room. They have helped us in the hospital. I salute my children. I am grateful to Jesus for them. It's been hard on the children, on some of them especially. April and Gary are expecting their 4th child in just 2 weeks. And the other day at CCU, I missed her, and I said, where's April? And they said, she went home for a minute. Gary took her home for a minute. And I said, well, why? And they said, she went to get an ultrasound of her baby to put on Daddy's bed. She wanted her daddy to see his little grandbaby in utero. Well, he'll know in heaven when that little baby's born, and he'll rejoice. We got this the other day in the fax. Dear Daddy, from our son Paul, who's a surgeon from Little Rock, and his beautiful wife Jennifer. This morning they have 3 little girls, and this is Matthew. Come here, darling. It's my oldest grandson. So sweet. He loves his grandmother. Come here, Michael. Come here, Andrea. We'll have number 16 in 2 weeks. He said, this morning, Georgia and Olivia and I drank watered down coffee. Now, these are little kids that big. I'm glad it was watered down. Or they might have been pretty hyper all day from the caffeine. Watered down coffee, slurping in long drinks followed by an ah. Does that bring back memories? Their daddy used to drink coffee in the morning. He'd go, ah, and the kids all remember that. I hope I can pass along a lot more of what you passed on to me. I love you. I pray for you always. And I am constantly amazed about the profound impact that you have had in my life. We have so many memories in our hearts. In CCU the other day, we called them right after the heart attack, cardiac arrest, and Paul scheduled a plane, got here at 12:30 from Little Rock. Tamara and Jim left from Victoria, the middle daughter, left at about 4 or 5 in the morning, got here about 7:30, and I heard these steps running down the corridor of the hospital across CCU, and I thought, what's going on? And Jim said from the time she got out of her car in the parking lot, she ran. She didn't stop. She wanted to see her daddy, and she got to see him. They all have done so many wonderful things. Justin's been so good to us and to his father, and Lisa and Kevin. Victoria did, Joel's wife, did his makeup and did his hair for television. And our in-laws are not like in-laws, they're like our very own. I found this in the closet at our house. And you say, well, what is that? It's just a bunch of writing. Can y'all see that on TV? It's just a bunch of writing. Joel, who's been doing our TV since he was 19 years old, and who's tremendous, don't you think? He now is co-owner of the Tube, Channel 55. He's got us on there morning and night on Sundays. We'll never be taken off because our son owns the station. These are lists of things. He would come over every Saturday and pick out a suit and a tie and a shirt for his father to wear on television the next morning. It starts back in 1994, and up here it says Bulgaria, so he went to Bulgaria in 1994. And there it says a dark blue with a white shirt, and all these are suits that John wore for television. The television programs that you've seen, Joel came by and picked it out and had lists of them, and he kept this list in our closet. And then it says, the last one on 1st, what is today? 27th, 1999, dark navy with a gold strand Rico tie. That's the suit that John has on in the casket. Thank God for a son like that. Okay, I know y'all think I'm taking a long time, but after all, I want you to know that we are committed to carry on the work that my husband started. This family right here, the ones of us that live here, we are committed. We will not let this work go down. It was not founded on John Osteen. It's founded on the solid rock, Jesus Christ. Yes! You may be seated. And Ralphina.